Hello. Okay. I was supposed to say hello. This is Immy from iTradeAIMS.com. AIMS stress-free trading, but I'm not going to say it. I want to do this on a daily basis, but sometimes when I'm done with trading, I just go somewhere else, especially during summer. But now, as summer is going, we're into autumn, and there won't be much time after trading activity is done. I won't be doing much, so most probably I'll be making more of these videos, quick 5-minute videos, hopefully on a daily basis, for a quick recap of the day. Okay, this is the Frankfurt Open. At that time we had some sort of a seed here. Most probably I would not have taken it because I don't trade before London Open, but sometimes I would take a signal if the structure of the market is good. 10-15 minutes before London Open, such as this one. I didn't take this one, but I would have taken it, and this could have been taken. This one is a cherry and the next one is a seed, so you could have taken the seed. Both of them would have resulted in break even. Around here we would have brought our stop loss to break even, and then at London Open the spike down would have closed us out. After that there was no signal for this system, although there was a nice fruit signal over here, and this fruit signal would have been taken with a initial risk of 16 or 17 points, and profits would have been taken here for about 2%, which is good. I mean, this is something that if you catch one of these, you're done 2%, shut down, go somewhere else. I know people, the normal feeling is that if I can make 2% in the first half an hour, imagine what would I do if I traded the whole day. Oh well, sometimes you probably will make 10-15% a day, but not on a daily basis, because you get bored or you make mistakes and you lose focus, and then the next two rents would bring you down to zero, and that you probably then start cursing yourself to say, well, I was 2% up, and now look at me what I've done. Now you're upset, and the signals you took probably were normal signals, good signals, but you know, I'm just going into the mind side. So it's best to have a -3 daily stop loss and a +5 profit target. It's not that you are working towards the 5%. It's not that you start the day and say, okay, let's see if I can make 5%. Well, in a way we do, let's see if I can make 5%, but we're not forcing anything to do that. It's not that you have to have the 5%. No, you're gonna trade the setups and stuff, and if whatever limit is hit first at that time, that will be your cutoff point. So if you hit 5%, woohoo, brilliant, stop trading, do something else. But if you've hit -3 before that, stop trading by all means and just do something else, come back tomorrow. If you made mistakes in that -3, then you have to have other measures in. For example, if you made mistakes, like 2 mistakes, and that got you to hit -3, then you could come up with some sort of a, not punishment, because I don't believe in punishment theory, but a positive or negative reinforcement theory. Things like, if I make a mistake or I make 2 mistakes, then that would mean that I won't trade with certain lot size, or I won't trade the next session, or I will have to reduce my lot size until I am more disciplined, things like that. So the focus is all on discipline. Anyway, so after that there was nothing until we saw this. There was another fruit signal for those who trade fruit. From fruit to fruit, there was a good 3% trade here, and with an add-on you're talking a bit more, probably 4 or 5%. Yes, so here we have a cherry trade, and it's perfectly valid, could be taken, and it would be a rent. The next seed trade would not be triggered, and then after that there was nothing until, actually we were monitoring this in the Skype group, this triangle format. As you can see, the high is there, and then there's, so it goes down. When it comes back up, it doesn't stop really at 50% and continues to go down, rather it pulls back too much, so then we're not keen for anything around here to go short. Actually it's gone up, so we're not looking at anything now until this peak is created by this move up. So then we're thinking, okay, if it pulls back we're going to go long, for which you probably would have taken this and paid a rent, which is perfectly fine. But I was looking at this relationship between this peak, and this comes here but does not break this peak, so we are going into a triangle here, here, and then when it started going down, it stopped here without breaking the low of this. Now this, when we have this and this, the zigzag, which doesn't break the highs, you're in a triangle form, which means the range is actually tightening. And then as you can see, the range, then it comes here, creates a low, comes here, doesn't break the high of that, instead creates a new Ames level which is lower. So on both sides we have a stepping down and a stepping up going on, and that puts the alligator to sleep, not just on the lower time frame but on the higher time frame as well. As you can see, the purple is here mingling with the red and green line, so that is shows that M5 might be sleeping as well. So we had marked this area and as a range, and this was the low of it. So when it broke down, this is where we started saying, okay, now we're looking for a signal. So before this was printed, we actually knew that it was going to be here. Not that it was going to be here in a way that we knew exactly, but we were ready for it. And I remember even saying things like in the Skype to get ready, ready, steady, go, and then this popped up. So as soon as you see this, you would click on the sell bar, and if you're using FTM or ATM, then it's very quick and easy. And this was a good trade. We took 2% here. The stop loss was, for me, I think it was 11 points, and target point was 22, which got hit here. And if you actually waited through this, either you took this one or you didn't take, and then you took this 2%, you're done. That's 2 hours of trading. Thank you very much. Let's come back tomorrow. After that, we have this seed. There is some form of, not totally diverging, but it looked like a bit of divergence to me, you know, like a 3 down, 4 up, 5 down. Here I was looking for the AO to then go back to 0 line, so I wasn't keen on any of these. This one could have been considered by some of us, which would be deleted at the end of this candle. And then around here now it was evident, it was clear that alligator was sleeping, and then by here it had all touched. So these ones we don't trade because the alligator is sleeping. This is the place for Apple. So AA would turn up here, and then we would take it, add on here, and we would have the target zone printed as like this. So if there was an apple here and you took it and then added on here, this would be your target. This also would be an ideal spot for a seed or a cherry. This also would be a spot for a seed and cherry. But as you can see, the cherry appeared here. Now I'm not interested in this cherry because I've seen a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a divergence. So I didn't take this, and this was not for me. Around here then you can see the gator is sleeping, totally not interested. Here the format of sleeping gator, breaking out, coming back to gator, that format is great. So you have a cherry, but we have divergence here and then divergence within this as well. Lower probability, as you can see, and target zone 1 is already hit. I should have mentioned in this as well. Target zone 1 was hit here So when this appeared, the target zone 1 is already hit. This is what we call trading in line with the structure. So around here, when it's divergent, what we would have called in Skype is that we want a reset of eWave, which kind of happened because it crossed the zero line here. So we have an impulse up, pull back. Obviously, we're going to take this signal here, here, or here. Now this one is a buy cherry, and it's a PC. You see the low, low, high, high, and there is one break against the structure, which is going up, and then it creates a bullish candle here, which is a cherry. So by all means, we would take this, and it will go up. You can have another target zone 1 printed on this, which, like Michael calls it, the local target zone 1, or we can call it a micro target zone 1. And if you put it here, then it gives you a target roughly there. So if you took this cherry and put the target zone there, it might be hit or not, and if it's not hit, you'll be trailing it. So if you're trailing the candle, you'll have probably 1 or 1.5%. This seed also could have been taken, and the seed would have brought about 2%. Again, if you took this, thank you very much. Let's come back tomorrow. But we tend to carry on, and then the market started going down again, comes back up around here. This cherry is not for me, it's just one bar, and this bar is too big, this move is too long, and this pullback is not enough. I'd like to have my cherries around here. Let's suppose this purple is around here. If there's a cherry here or here, I'll take it, not all the way. But even if you took this cherry or this cherry, it's not a problem. It's just 1% and gone. These ones, again, we are thinking this is 3 and this market is going into 4th wave. It's inside the gator's mouth. We don't want to take these. This is the place for Apple. But instead of doing anything, this was the time when market doesn't do really anything because it's lunch break and all that. So it went into a very tight range, and so we were cautious about this range. We had marked this range from here to here and thought it has to break in one direction or the other, and then we would trade. So it broke up and came down. This cherry, as we can see, it's a monarch type of pattern, but we knew that the breakout wasn't really strong enough, but it did actually break out to the upside and down. So if this was taken, it's not a bad signal, which of course would be either a rent or a break even. And then as soon as price comes down and goes back up here, because the M5 was all short as well, we were interested in going short. This is a monarch pattern. If we had a cherry here or a seed here, I would be very, very interested, and I would have definitely taken it. This cherry was a quick cherry. You can only have taken it if you were ready and you had FTM or ATM. You could have taken this, and this was a very quick 2%er. Again, if you traded this, thank you very much. Let's come back tomorrow. We have one more cherry here. Again, it's the same cherry, the one that we talked about earlier, like ones like these. As you can see, we have one stripe, one change of color, second change of color. This is third change of color, and the bars are too many and big. So you can see the bars about 28, minus 28. Around here it's minus 17, and around here it's minus 5 or 4. So the earlier, the closer you are towards the breakout. For example, this is the breakout and this is the first pullback. This is higher probability. Then we have the second breakout. It's even good. But this one, it's getting late. And there's one more problem here, which is, can you see this peak there comes down. This peak is lower than that, so this is 1, 2, comes down, breaks the low of this, comes back up, breaks the low of this, which is not good, but still it comes down, creates a new low, goes back up, then it breaks out and breaks this low. But here, when it creates this low and this price action tries to break the low of this, it doesn't break it and it goes back up. Now the symmetry of the trend is broken. And this pullback is stronger. See, this consolidation is very little movement. So if it was something like that, it would be fine, but then it goes sideways and then breaks up we're not interested. And of course these cherries are just not valid, no new peak. Then we had these. I was looking at M5, and M5 was, let me show you the M5. M5 was like this. As you can see, it was going down, 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 and the symmetry of the downtrend was still okay. You see, low, 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 comes back up, kind of a PC break, greeted with an apple here, comes down, goes back up, comes down, and then when it's going back, it looked more like a pullback up. I did not want to, because the volatility was not as great as it used to be, I didn't want to trade this pullback on M1. But if you took this or this, it's perfectly fine, could be taken. Sometimes they would even bring a good percentage. Then after that the market started coming down again, and this is New York Open, the equities open, and this first bar is very important because it gives you direction. As you can see, it's a bearish candle and it's got good range, about 16-17 point. It just tells you this is where market would go. It's very simple. Every morning if you look at 8 o'clock candle and the New York Open candle, it gives you a lot of information. So it comes down, then comes a bit further down. It was trying to break but couldn't break the lows and the support and resistance on the left side very easily, but it did actually pull back and created a PC pattern. So 1 down, 2 up. I took a short here despite the big box because the structure was there. I took a short, and the short paid off very well, about 1%. And after that it was followed by this seed. By all means you would put a PO here because this is a impulse down and pullback. And then as soon as the next candle after the seed is a PC cherry. So if you didn't take this, you would definitely take it. And if you took this PO and then this appeared and you left your PO on this, doesn't matter, that would still be good. Although because it moved more than 1% in our favor, we would have moved our stop loss to break even. So both this or this resulted in break even. If you manage it differently, then you would have 2 or 3% in there. Alright, here then you can see we have divergence here. So we have 3, 4, 5. So another cherry appears. We're not interested. And that was the end for me. And it pretty much was the end of price action. This is what we do, and this is what we're gonna do again and again. Nothing else. Where's the button gone? Okay. And before I finish, let me tell you about ATM, Snom's Advanced Trade Manager. If you click on T and move that T around, the whole buttons, everything will move. It's a very good feature. If you click on A, it's going to hide all the buttons. If you click on M, it's going to display something here. You can check that yourself once you get ATM. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Have a good one. Bye.